Welcome to Care Sandwich, the podcast where we dive into the success journeys of law firm owners across the country. I'm Margarita Everline, your host and the founder of Marketing Boss, a fractional chief marketing officer firm for law firms. On this show, we'll explore the challenges, strategies, and victories that have shaped law firms and how they wrap every interaction with care. Because we believe that caring isn't just a value, it's a strategy for success. So grab your favorite sandwich, sit back, and let's dig into a conversation filled with insight, inspiration, and of course, a lot of care. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode to Care Sandwich. I am with Gary Sarner. Gary is a radio expert, and really he's also an outdoor expert and an expert in so many different traditional media mixes. And I'm so excited to have him as a guest because he's going to give us some amazing insights on, as law firm owners, how can you think about your media buys and your media placements so that you actually get results? Roy 360, his company, is known for getting law firm owners all over the country amazing results from some of the most popular media. I've heard from attorneys that we know in common that you're like the guy to go to for all the fun stuff, like all the out-of-the-box stuff. So walk us through that.
You know, we evolve as people, right? And I spent 27 years in radio where all I did was I was either in sales or in sales management. Mm-hmm. It's not always in the best interest of the buyer, but it works for the media company.
Yeah, because they're selling their inventory, which is air. Mm-hmm.
It's what?
And
You can buy.
12 years ago, I went on a sales call to Anajar and Levine. It was a small law firm in South Florida.
Okay.
This guy was having a hard time with his rep at my radio station, and I heard the commotion over the phone and went to my boss and said, hey, I know this guy's family. I don't know him, but give it to me. Let me fix this. Long story short, he opened up his business to me as a rep, similar to how a business opens its book up to an agency.
Yeah.
Because that's where you got to be real.
I thought you were going.
Yeah.
He asked me to audit one of his buys that was just so gross, the amount of errors and the lack of care that was behind what was happening. I showed him the report I put together for him, and he's like, you're my new ad guy. I'm like, no freaking way. No. Yeah, you are. So I started watching his spot times for him. Mm-hmm. And after several months where everything was smooth, he's like, listen, I want you to handle all my marketing. Like, I work at the radio station. It's not what I do. He goes, it won't take a lot of time. Over the next 8.5 years, we helped grow that law firm from Miami, Fort Lauderdale to add West Palm Beach, Fort Myers, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, Melbourne, 7 markets. Radio, TV, billboards, and growing like crazy. But you want to know what the key is to his growth? Mm-hmm. Great legal work.
Oh, yeah. There's that detail. I love that.
Most people forget about that.
They do, but you said something that I want you to expand on. And you don't have to expand on this particular, or just give us examples. You said that when you looked at the media buy with the eyes of an agency, you found errors. I can imagine what they are because I understand media buying, but for somebody that's listening to this as an attorney, they have no idea. They're like, what do you mean errors? You're buying the airtime and then it should work, right?
Okay.
Can you expand on that? Like, not for this particular case, but like
Oh, okay.
in general, what sorts of things do you look for?
I'm going to give an
with
analogy.
I'm not here to sell you air. I'm here to make sure this works.
I'm going to give you an analogy first. Let's say you're the lawyer and you're buying your own advertising. You are probably paying anywhere from 20 to 50% more than you need to be. So here's the role reversal.
Say it again, because I don't think a lot of attorneys realize this. I'm with
If
you.
they are doing it on their own, they are paying 20 to 50% too much. More importantly, if I went to any law firm in the United States and said, you have a $5 million case that you want to get policy limits on, it takes a professional to do that. But I could go in, I could settle that $5 million case with no law degree, just assuming I was allowed to, and I'll easily get you 500 grand. 10% of the value. Nobody wins. Nobody. Because the client should have gotten $5 million. And we have law firms across America that are settling cases without trying cases. So if you want to get the most out of your marketing dollars, whether it's me or somebody else, talk to somebody, build a relationship, have trust, and then your marketing dollars will go further for you. We are in a business, and I don't know if there's another one like it. Maybe you'll be able to help me on this one. But 98% of all marketing in personal injury advertising is branding. 2% is call to action. Because today, 2% of the people are going to get in a car accident. 98% are not. You can't sell your law firm to somebody who doesn't need you. Now, I've got this fancy Pilot go-to pen. That's what they call this. G2 10. It's probably worth $1. But we could make this the sexiest pen in the world. And if we want to discount it to 69, 59, 49 cents, take less profit, but test a medium to see how many we could sell. We could know our ROI after the weekend. You cannot advertise and market a law firm and come up with an ROI today, tomorrow, next week, next month. Because anybody who starts on radio, TV, or billboards, give yourself 18 months before you're going to look backwards. Now, here's another great thing.
Well, and I just want to add something. And I would say, even before you do that, a lot of law firms, what I've seen from my perspective as a CMO, skip the step of taking some time, a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months, to really think about, what is my brand even about, before getting out there with a message.
So, you're 100% right. And I've written 1,000 of the worst radio commercials ever. Everyone sounds like a Brooklyn guy trying to hard sell to call the law firm. But the story of the law firm, who you really are as a person, resonates better. No law firm is for everybody. We, as two marketing people here, we know that nobody in America can compete dollar for dollar with Morgan & Morgan. Nobody. They're going to outspend everybody. But their message, America's largest personal injury firm, doesn't resonate with everybody. Some people want that personal service. You and I have small marketing companies that we own.
Mm-hmm.
Yet there's a million huge agencies out there where it could be really cool to be involved with them. Well, they don't give a shit about your business. They don't know anything about law. And they don't understand anything about that god-awful word intake.
Yeah.
Which is an art in itself. So, back to where I was, you've got to take time. Marketing campaigns are measured in years, not 2-3 years, 5-10 years. I'm going to read you something. I got this last night and I laughed so hard. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. This is so-and-so, one of the attorneys from blank office. We received a missed call, so I wanted to make sure I got back to you. I'm sorry about that. My kid was randomly saying a phone number she remembered, and so we dialed it to see what it was from. Apparently, it was your law office. Then she remembered how the radio commercial went word for word. We laughed because it's some catchy advertising. I don't need a lawyer, but my kid will have me call you if I ever do. Sorry again. Have a great day.
That's beautiful. That's branding.
This firm has been on the radio for years. The creative for any campaign could go from one gamut to the other. Be true to who the firm is and what you're about.
Mm-hmm.
Top Dog Law. We've heard their commercials all over the place.
Yeah.
That is their brand, and they are very intentional with who they want to reach.
And they're committed to it. That's the other thing. I've had attorneys, and I'm sure they've asked you the same question. What should my jingle be? What should my message be? And, like if there's some magic bullet out there that marketers know and we're like, oh yeah, try this one. That's the one. What I always say is be authentic to who you really are, because that's going to be sustainable over time with your other assets that you put out. It's not just about the TV or the radio spot. It's about what's your voice authentically. And then stick to it. Stick to it. I've seen attorneys switch practice areas every 3 months, and it's like, oh, okay, we're doing that now.
Time heals everything, including a marketing campaign. I call these people ankle biters. So, picture a small law firm, sole proprietor, who happens to get a referral from somebody, and it's a big case. And all of a sudden they get a fee for $1.5 million. They've never had that kind of money. Well, they could do one of two things. They could take it as income. They could hire people, or they could market. Well, all of a sudden, they know everything. So they go and buy all this advertising on their own. And it doesn't work, because they didn't have enough money to sustain this campaign for years.
Right.
And I don't care who you are, unless you get lightning in a bottle and lucky. If you're not doing something for 18 months, don't do it. And if you do it, own something.
Right.
You could own the African American audience. You could own a Hispanic audience. You could own an Anglo audience. Now, I do more radio than anything else. You listen to urban radio stations, there could be 14 to 18 lawyers on the air. Then you go to a Hispanic station, your market in Atlanta, 22. And then you go to the country station and there's two.
Right.
Now, there's fallacies to some cases being better than others. And I watch all the ads on TV, listen to all of them on radio. You know what bothers me more than anything else in attorney marketing?
What?
Call us to get your case value. Fill out this form for your case value. If a law firm doesn't have the information about the other party, how do you know what's available? So, on average, a broken arm might be worth, making this up, 150 grand.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's no insurance from the person who hit you, you're misleading the general public.
Yeah.
So again, back to authenticity of your marketing. I couldn't tell you how much your case is worth until you call me, and we do all the proper work to come back and report to you what reality is. I referred a friend of mine to a firm.
Mm-hmm.
Her son was in an accident. Car was totaled. He was hurt pretty badly. He didn't have uninsured motorist coverage. And the driver that hit him had no coverage. So the PIP that was available was all he could get. And she's screaming at me, "You told me this firm was so good." I'm like, but they can't manufacture insurance.
Right.
So I say to every firm we work with across the country, one of your commercials, since only 2% of the people might need you today, should be educational about why underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage is so crucial.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have children who drive, you gotta have them covered, God forbid.
Right.
Because what could bankrupt somebody faster than anything? One surgery in a hospital without coverage.
Yeah.
But that surgery has to happen.
There, I hope you're enjoying the conversation and your sandwich as much as we are. I want to take a moment to share a few words about our sponsor, Marketing Boss. If you're a law firm owner looking to supercharge your growth, our team at Marketing Boss is here to help. We've got over a decade of experience and a proven track record, and we specialize in growing law firms like yours with data-driven marketing leadership. So if you own a law firm and you're ready to get a predictable, steady flow of cases from your marketing, let's connect at marketing-boss.com.
At the end of the day, I think the most important part of what we do is we build relationships with trust, and we care. We don't make $1 if the firms don't do well.
Yep.
Because if you don't put together a great campaign, whether it's radio, TV, billboards, digital, you got to do all of it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't see the results, and this is fun. Radio and TV and billboards get this amount, very small, under 5% attribution, because people go to Google.
Right.
And I watched this phenomenal piece that Gary V did the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He says 5 years from now, Google is not gonna be where people are searching. And he had a group of advertisers, and he was asking about Google, who uses Google. Everybody raises their hand, and then he's like, who in the room uses ChatGPT? The whole room. He's like, I got a bunch of 40, 50, 60-year-old wealthy business owners here that are all using ChatGPT. That is the next wave.
Interesting.
But radio, TV, billboards, yes, all these are fragmented now. There are more choices than ever. And every lawyer that I speak to, and I hung up with one today in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to the radio. You're not trying to reach you. You know who to call, God forbid you get in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not cool to say I listen to the radio. But, and I do a test with every lawyer that I get to meet face to face and go to a restaurant with. And let's, for shits and giggles, excuse my French, say I am walking into your restaurant right now. And you are the hostess of this fancy restaurant with beautiful plants behind you. And I said, Margarita, I'm just curious, do you listen to the radio? 9 out of 10 people say no. Okay, but Margarita, if you were to listen to the radio, what station would you listen to?
And I might cite a station that I'm familiar with. Yeah.
And then I'll say, okay, I know you don't listen to Power 95.
Right.
But if you were to listen, because you told me you knew that station, who does mornings on that station? And then they say, oh, Elvis Duran. I'm like, I know you don't listen to Elvis Duran on Power 95, but why do you know that?
Right.
And again, take the same 100 people, take 100 people and ask them that. They're going to say they don't listen to the radio. Ask them if they eat at McDonald's. They're going to say, I don't eat at McDonald's. It's not cool to eat at McDonald's. 90% buy at least a Coke, a coffee, an ice cream, a Big Mac, a French fry once a year.
But it's true. It's true with all media. I'm going to say it this way. People lie to themselves. And I saw it when I worked at Nielsen and I was auditing diaries. And I've seen it now as a CMO auditing calls where I can see a tracking number from a Google ad was where that's the number that they use. And I'm listening to the recording and I listened to the person at the law firm say, how did you hear about us? And I could hear the person say, a friend referred me. What friend? Oh, my friend. Anyway, and because they're embarrassed to say that they Googled. It even happens with Google.
I try and get the firms that we work with, their job when the potential calls is to sign the case up.
Mm-hmm.
And because most last touch points are Google, it's very easy for the intake department to just hit the button and they did their job.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell you a story about somebody we know together without using their name. Great month. And I've got a smirk on my face. And he's like, dude, it's not all about the radio. Our LSAs were through the roof. Really, how many LSA cases did you get this month? 150. I'm making the numbers up now. I said, okay, do me a favor. I want you to call 15 of these random clients, randomly. It's like, what the hell do you want me to say to them? I said, first, thank them for hiring your firm. Second, say to them, are you healing and are you being taken care of by my team as you should be? And then number 3, say, I know you got to the firm via Google, but have you ever heard or seen us prior to that? Reluctantly says, you know what, I'm going to do this. I get a call the next morning. You son of a bitch.
I already know.
9 people said they can't get away from me on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
3 said they see me on TV all the time. I said, were those 3 Hispanics? He's like, how do you know? I said, I know.
That's a favorite media.
And then he said, 3 said they saw my billboards. Well, back at that time when this happened, this client of ours did not have a lot of billboards. But you know what they had? The RDS and the dash.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Now, if you were to go ask 10 of your closest friends that are not in media, what is RDS? Nobody's going to know. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you ask 80% of the people in radio, they don't know what RDS stands for. You worked at Nielsen. You dealt with 1 million agencies or stations where salespeople didn't know what AQH, CUME, none of it.
Right.
They don't know. So experts are very in short supply. Now, can I ask you, since you worked at, and I know you're not at Nielsen anymore,
It's been
but how the hell do they come up with numbers in a market with 6 million people and it comes from 120 diaries or 120 people meters?
math.
No.
Math.
But that's bad math. It's not
Yeah.
fair.
Oh, there's a standard error worked in that you should factor in as you're interpreting the data, but you cannot take
Like-
it as black and white. I would always look at the sample size by demographic before taking the numbers at face value,
It's the sample size sucks. I mean, look, we just
especially
went,
for Hispanic and other demos.
and they get paid more. But we just went through an election
Yeah.
where if you watched what the poll said,
Right.
they missed terribly. Oh, wait a minute. You just said something before. People lie.
Yeah.
It's not cool to speak about a radio station or a TV show. But it's
Yeah.
cool
Or
to
even
say,
admit that you went to Google for information sometimes. Yeah.
by the way, Mr. and Mrs. Lawyers out there, marketing is hard. It is not easy. It is not for the faint of heart.
And I
Find yourself somebody that you trust. I ask this question whenever I hire somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to walk into a room of 100 people. 50 love me, 50 don't.
Mm-hmm.
Which 50 do I want to work with? The answer is always the ones that love you. I'm like, no. Because for me, I want to earn the trust and respect. We'll become friends after.
Mm-hmm.
Because without trust and respect, you can't have a partnership. And I'm sure in your career, you've dealt with a barker or two. They're not fun.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are working on your behalf really do generally care that you're successful.
Yep.
We earn our living doing what we do best. Law firms earn their living from doing what they do best.
Mm-hmm.
Find that person you trust, like, and respect. Have some patience, and your marketing will work. If you lack patience, don't become a marketer, because the results you expect day one are not going to happen. Day one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to recap the metaphor that you gave, or the example that you gave of if I went and pursued a personal injury case, me as a marketer or you as a marketer, that was worth $1 million, I could get maybe $500,000 or $200,000 or whatever, and I might say to myself, wow, I did it, this is working. And I think in many ways, to expand on that example that you gave, a lot of law firm owners are very intelligent, and I say this with a lot of respect, that they're savvy enough to do things on their own and do them what seems like they're doing it really well, and they might say, wow, like I don't need a Gary to help me figure out radio. I'm gonna go have coffee with the radio guy and he's gonna give me the best deal or best schedule or whatever. Or I don't need a Margarita to tell me how to allocate my media spend across different channels. I don't need a CMO. I can just do this on my own. And then they might do it on their own and say, wow, like this is working. I'm getting the phones ringing, I'm getting cases, and things are moving along. And I don't know about you, Gary, but it's happened with me where I speak to people and they're like, oh, I'm good. And then 6 months later or a year later, they hit that ceiling and they just can't get past it. And then they call me, or maybe they call you. Gary, I think I need your help. Then what happens?
So I have, it wasn't a 6 month year thing,
Yeah.
but we were talking about Top Dog Law, who has, I'm very proud of the campaign we built for them. We don't work together any longer. But I found him on Instagram 3.5 years ago, and he grants me a call. And at the time, I have one client. And we have this great chat. We hit it off. And he ghosted me. Gone. 3 weeks. I'm like, what the hell? And my phone rings, and it's him. I answer, and he's like, your clients are idiots. I'm like,
Oh my God.
why? He goes, that shit you buy is expensive. And this is where the analogy came from. I said to him, okay, but I could take your $5 million case and get you $500,000. You want to do that? He's like, no, that's stupid. I said, you trying to buy your own media is stupid. And he says, okay, I'm going to give you a shot. And what they offered him for one piece of exclusive inventory, I got him 5 plus on air. I mean, it was just a ridiculous amount for double what they wanted for one screen. He's like, how'd you do that? I said, the same way you're going to get $5 million on the case.
Right.
You're a pro at what you do. I'm a pro at what I do. And for 1 year, he was on this, we had this campaign in Philly, and the following year, we launched 26 markets across the United States.
Yeah.
He is the second largest advertiser now in urban radio across the country. You know who he's behind? Morgan & Morgan.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm proud of it, and he's doing very well. I'm excited for him. But at the end of the day, my team is here to help law firms not have to worry about radio, TV, billboards, a little bit of digital. We make sure everything runs where it's supposed to run, when it's supposed to run, how it's supposed to run.
That's it right there. I was going to ask you to expand on that because you do that so well. You think through, what does this media outlet have to offer, not just in terms of the primary offer, but what other assets can I mix in to create the whole experience? And that really does take a lot of creativity and know-how, and to be able to balance the buy, the budget that you have for that buy, for that channel, in the perfect way, so that you're creating that experience for the listener or for the audience, and you're covering every single asset. I think that's great. I would love for you to talk more about that, and I could talk to you forever. I know we've gone over time.
The one thing we pride ourselves on is we cannot, with any partner that we have across the country, outspend Morgan & Morgan. You cannot do it. But we can outshare everybody else and outshare them in many instances. Share of voice is what matters.
Right.
Lawyers, you need to be remembered because nobody needs you today. Be intentional with what you say. Be who you are, and your phones, your Google. It's going to happen. But have some patience if you're new at it. I hear this all the time. Pick a market, and there's the law firm that's advertised for 30 years.
Yeah.
I want to be like Joe. Great. Joe's been marketing in your market for 30 years. He's never taken his foot off the pedal. He steps on the gas every day. You are new to this, or you have done pieces of this, and when it doesn't work, you move to the next thing, and then you move to the next thing, and then you move to the next thing.
Yeah.
I don't care, law, retail, restaurants. Marketing doesn't happen overnight. Brands are not built overnight. And by the way, your brand matters more than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I could talk about this all day long.
Yeah. Tell us, Gary, about your favorite sandwich. I want to redo that part because, in the beginning.
So I have two favorite sandwiches. And it depends where I am. But one is going to be corned beef on rye, only mustard on it. There's nothing else. None of the sauerkraut or anything. Don't make. And number two, a fresh made pita with falafel. Can't beat that.
That sounds amazing. You're cool. Your taste in sandwiches is cool. It was such a pleasure to have you, Gary. If anybody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
I call myself the most accessible guy in media. My cell phone, 954-560-6371. If I don't answer, you will hear back from me within 20 minutes, unless I'm on an airplane. Or on Instagram or Facebook, ROI 360 Plus, or me, Gary Sarner. I accept everybody. My team wants to help people. Our why is the end user. So if you get to help as a law firm the end user, we get to help you. Build a litigation team before you start marketing. Mm-hmm. So you can cover your clients the best. And if you don't want to do that, have a great partner that you could refer to that litigates cases, has results, and wins.
I love that. Build the infrastructure so you can control the flood when your marketing starts to hit.
You know this stuff pretty damn well too.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for watching this episode. And again, if you want to reach Gary, you can reach him on social media. You can call his number and he'll get right back to you. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Remember, the way we care for our clients, our teams, and ourselves can make all the difference in our success. Until next time, keep caring, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.